We're not in the business of making cars. We're in the business of winning races. Though Ferrari said those words, he didn't just create a company. He forged a religion, a legacy written in blood, sweat, and 200-octane fuel. Ferrari didn't become legendary by playing it safe. They made 11 brutal, controversial decisions that everyone said would destroy them. The Breakaway, 1939. Imagine walking away from your dream job. Not because you failed, because they wouldn't let you win the way you wanted. 1939. Enzo Ferrari was Alfa Romeo's golden boy. Salary, comfortable, reputation, solid, future, guaranteed. He quit. Why? Because Alfa Romeo wanted control. They wanted safe, predictable, corporate racing. Enzo wanted glory. There was just one problem. His contract said he couldn't use his own name on race cars for 4 years. Most people would have given up. Enzo, he founded Scuderia Ferrari anyway. Raced under Otto Avio Costruziani. A loophole, a middle finger, a statement. This wasn't just about cars. This was about refusing to be tamed. Racing first, everything else second. Here's where Ferrari broke every business rule in existence. They sold road cars to fund racing, not the other way around. Think about that. Every other manufacturer builds race cars to sell you a Camry. Ferrari, they built the 250 GTO so they could afford to beat you at Le Mans. Enzo himself said, "I build engines and attach wheels to them. No marketing department, no focus groups, just pure unapologetic speed. And you know what's insane? It worked. Because people don't buy Ferraris, they buy victories." Resolution number 3. The Ford rejection, 1963. This is the move that changed motorsport forever. 1963. Henry Ford II offers Enzo Ferrari $18 million. That's over $180 million today. All Ferrari had to do was say yes. The deal was done. Handshakes, champagne, contracts. Then Enzo read the fine print. Ford wanted control over Ferrari's racing decisions. Enzo didn't just reject the deal, he humiliated Ford. Called Henry Ford II a man who couldn't drive a nail into a board. Ford's response? "Fine, we'll destroy you at Le Mans." They did, for 4 years straight. But here's the thing, Ferrari became more valuable after losing. Why? Because they proved something money can't buy. They couldn't be bought. Resolution number 4. The V12 Obsession, 1947. The world was broke, war-torn, rebuilding. Everyone said, build small, efficient, affordable engines. Ferrari's first car, a 1.5-liter V12, not a 4-cylinder, not a straight 6. A 12-cylinder engine in a world that could barely afford bread. People thought Enzo was insane. Overkill, they said, too expensive, too complex. But that V12 engine note, that scream at 8,000 RPM, that became Ferrari's signature. To this day, purists say if it doesn't have 12 cylinders, it's not a real Ferrari. That's not engineering, that's identity. Resolution number 5. Scarcity over scale. Most car companies want to sell more cars, right? Ferrari, they limit production on purpose. Even today, with a multi-year waitlist, Ferrari refuses to max out production. They could print money, but they won't. Why? Because the moment Ferrari makes enough cars to satisfy demand, they stop being Ferrari. Think about it. You can walk into a Lamborghini dealer and buy an Aventador tomorrow. Maybe, but a Ferrari, you don't buy a Ferrari. Ferrari chooses you. And if they don't like how you treat your cars, they'll blacklist you. Ferrari didn't become legendary by being likable. They became legendary by being uncompromising. But the next 6 decisions, they're even more controversial. Number 7 especially. It's the one that made collectors worship Ferrari while the rest of the world scratched their heads. Let's keep going. Rosso Corsa, red or nothing. In the early days of racing, every country had a color. British racing green, German silver, French blue. Italy, Rosso Corsa, racing red. Ferrari didn't just paint their cars red, they owned the color. It became law. If you bought a Ferrari and wanted it in blue, too bad. For decades, over 85% of Ferraris were delivered in red. Why? Because Enzo believed Ferrari wasn't a car company. It was the embodiment of Italian racing spirit. And that spirit, it bleeds red. Today, if you see a red supercar and you don't know what it is, it's probably a Ferrari. Resolution number 7. Never touch American oval racing. Here it is. The $1 million rejection. The Indianapolis 500 is one of the biggest races on earth. Prize money, huge, prestige, legendary. Ferrari never competed. Never. Why? Because Enzo saw oval racing as beneath Ferrari's engineering philosophy. Turning left in circles isn't racing, he'd say. It's practice for a roundabout. Think about what Ferrari gave up. Sponsorships, TV deals, American market dominance. But by refusing to compete in Indy, Ferrari made a statement. We're not here to win races. We're here to win the right races. That decision, it made Ferrari untouchable in European road racing. They focused on Le Mans, Monza, Monaco, the tracks that demanded perfection. Resolution number 8. Hiring young Mavericks over legends. Enzo had a rule: never hire a driver who's already famous. Why? Because legends demand control. They want special treatment, ego, status. Ferrari didn't want drivers who thought they were bigger than the car, so instead he hired unknowns: kids, Mavericks, Phil Hill, Gilles Villeneuve, Michael Schumacher before the world knew his name. These weren't just talented drivers, they were hungry, and hunger, that's what wins championships. Enzo molded them, shaped them, and if they didn't work out, he replaced them without hesitation. Cold? Maybe. Effective? Absolutely. Crown resolution number 9. Independence at all costs. By the 1960s, Ferrari was struggling financially. Racing was bleeding money. The company needed a bailout. Ford tried to buy them, we talked about that. But here's what most people don't know: Ferrari almost sold to Fiat too. In 1969, Fiat offered a lifeline, and this time, Enzo said yes, but with conditions. Fiat could own 50% of the road car business. Fine, but Ferrari's racing division, untouchable. Enzo kept 100% control. Fiat wanted wins, Enzo wanted legacy. Even when Ferrari needed money the most, they refused to let corporate interests dictate how they raced. That's not compromise, that's warfare. Gear resolution number 10. Innovate or die. Ferrari's reputation is built on tradition. Right, wrong. Ferrari was ruthless about innovation. 1961, they pioneered mid-engine layouts for Formula One when everyone else clung to front engines. 1975, Niki Lauda convinced Ferrari to adopt ground-effect aerodynamics before it was mainstream. 1980s, Ferrari went turbo when purists screamed it would ruin the soul of racing. And they were right to ignore them. Ferrari's philosophy was simple: respect tradition but never worship it. They kept the V12, the red, the Prancing Horse. But the tech, the materials, the design, always forward, never backward. Horse resolution number 11. The Prancing Horse symbol. Every brand has a logo. But Ferrari, they have a war banner. The story goes that in 1923, Enzo met Countess Paulina, the mother of WWI flying ace Francesco Baracca. Baracca flew with a prancing horse painted on his plane, a symbol of courage. The Countess told Enzo, "Put this on your cars, it will bring you luck." Enzo did, and he added yellow, the color of Modena, his hometown. But here's the thing about the Ferrari logo: it's not just marketing, it's a reminder that every Ferrari isn't just a car, it's a weapon, a statement, a tribute to warriors. The Prancing Horse doesn't trot, it charges. So here's what you need to understand. Ferrari didn't become legendary because they made the fastest cars. They became legendary because they made impossible choices. They walked away from guaranteed money. They rejected corporate control. They chose pride over profit. They picked obsession over common sense. And every time the world said, "You're doing it wrong," Ferrari doubled down. Because legends aren't built by following the rules. They're built by breaking them. That's why when you see a Ferrari on the street, you don't just see a car. You see 80 years of defiance. You see a brand that said no to the biggest companies on earth. You see a machine that was never meant to be practical. Because Ferrari doesn't build cars for everyone. They build them for believers.